What is going on with Kep1er? Hey guys, welcome back to Wade's Winter Wonderland. Today, we have a sort of return to form. After a week of man-centered videos, today we are covering one of my favorite girl groups, but not necessarily in a great way. So Kep1er dropped their Bubblegum EP, and honestly, I've been in my feelings a little. Because the more attached I get to these girls, the more nervous I am about their future. And with everything happening right now, the hiatus, the short track list, I feel like we need to talk about what's going on behind the scenes. Before we dive deeper into the music and the chaos of their current situation, I think it's worth pausing for a second and talking about who Kep1er actually is, especially for viewers who may not know them beyond the Wadada group. Kep1er started out as a 9-member project girl group formed through the Mnet survival show Girls Planet 999 back in 2021. Their original lineup consisted of Young-eun, Mashiro shouting, Chaehyun, Dayeon, Hikaru, Hyunin Bahie, Young-eun, and Yeso. From the very beginning, their whole identity was built around a celestial space theme showcasing their journey from the show onward. They were meant to be a limited time group, like most Mnet survival shows, but despite the limited time frame, Kep1er managed to carve out a space for themselves with their high-octane debut Wadada, strong B-sides like Mask, and diverse concepts ranging from cute summer vibes to grittier, punchier girl crush tracks. This helped build a fandom that has stayed loyal even as the group navigated instability. They weren't the most polished group at debut, but they had hunger, drive, and charisma, and that's what made people fall in love with them. Now, fast forward to the present, they extended their contracts but lost 2 members, Mashiro and Yeso. Because of that, we're entering what should be their extended chapter, a chance to stabilize and grow past the limitations of being a project group. Truly an opportunity to redefine themselves. But there's a complication. A few actually. Before this comeback, Kep1er announced that Young-eun would be taking a hiatus due to health reasons. On paper, it's just one sentence in a company statement. But in practice, it changes a lot. Young-eun isn't just quote-unquote another member, she's a core vocal pillar, one of their most versatile performers, and someone whose tone fills the mid-range gaps that give Kep1er songs fullness and texture. When she's gone, you feel it. Suddenly, Chaehyun and Dayeon have to absorb extra vocal load, and the rest of the members have to cover that gap. The balance shifts dramatically. So going into this EP already felt like going into a group project missing one of the main teammates. And while the girls handled it really well, the absence leaves a subtle emptiness you can't unhear once you realize what's changed. But before getting into all that, let's actually talk about this EP in detail so I can get to the heart of this video. Tastes Better. Intro. Tastes Better is one of those openings that does exactly what an intro needs to do. It sets the tone, builds anticipation, and gets you hyped. But it also leaves me wanting more in a slightly frustrating way. It's fun, energetic, and matches the attitude of the EP. But part of me wishes it had just been a full song instead of a tease, or at least swapped with one more proper B-side. It feels like eating a piece of fruit stripe gum. There's flavor, but it doesn't last. Good, yes. Satisfying, not really. Bubble Gum. I won't lie, I was genuinely shocked by how much I enjoyed it. It's a style shift for Kep1er and not a small one. This isn't cute or bubbly or hyper bright, it's gritty, confident, cheeky girl crush, but elevated and clean. It's not the kind of girl crush that has them yelling over frying pans and clanging pots and pans. This is the chew you up, spit you out type of energy. The verses are incredibly addictive, especially the mwah line. It's been replaying in my head non-stop. The pre-chorus also builds in such a satisfying way, with the production gradually thickening, layering, adding tension until the chorus drops. Not super explosively, but with this cool steady groove that makes the whole thing feel controlled and stylish. And the lyrics reflect that. It's giving, we're sweet but don't play with us. They take in negativity, chew it up, and spit it out like expired gum. Vocally, it's pretty good. It's not the most vocal heavy song, and I can't help but have mixed feelings about it. 'Cause it's good, but yes, Young-eun is painfully missed. Her tone would have anchored the song beautifully. Even so, this is Kep1er at their most confident, and I want more of it, just in a way that's more polished. 8 out of 10. It's good, but could have been better. Don't Be Dumb. This song and I have a situationship. Some days I'm like, yes, and the beat hits in just the right way. Other times the chorus comes in and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm the dumb one for replaying this. The message is great, self-confidence, ignore the noise, do your thing, and the verses were solid too. The bounce, the flow, the attitude, all of it was on point. The second verse especially, Dayoung and Chaehyung 8. The bridge is solid too, even with the slightly overprocessed high note for me. It still works because the musical build-up is satisfying. But the chorus, the repetition is like being yelled at by a very tiny, very cute drill sergeant. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Girl, I'm trying my best. It's catchy, almost too catchy, but the tone makes it feel abrasive on more casual listens, especially following a really nice pre-chorus that sets you up for greatness. If they had swapped the main chorus with the first part of the outro or just reworked it, the song would have felt smoother and more dynamic in my opinion. But I don't tend to love this type of song usually either, so there's that. 7 out of 10. It's a mood-dependent listen. Ice-T. This song has been stuck in my head for days, and I genuinely cannot tell if that's a compliment or a warning. Ice-T is sugary, summery, breezy. The lyrics talk about not caring what people say, and that even if they try to bring them down, they'll still remain cool and refreshing. However, it feels a bit off. To me, the post-chorus screams jingle. Like, a marketing department could literally sample it for a drink commercial and I wouldn't blink. I keep catching myself singing Dai kome kulala and accidentally calling it ice cream instead of iced tea. The song is parasitically catchy, but it works. It really works. It's cute and it perfectly balances that Kep1er charm with something a little more mature. Not my favorite on the EP, but unfortunately very replayable. 7 out of 10. Yum, Korean version. This song alone carried the entire EP on its back like Atlas holding up the sky. I hadn't heard the Japanese version before, so this was my first exposure, and wow. This is the confidence, the flavor, the charisma I have been wanting Kep1er to lean into. Vocally and lyrically, they snapped. The song compares their performance and stage presence to something sweet and addictive, saying it's sweet and yum. Honestly, fair. They state that no matter what life throws at them, they won't change their show, meaning they'll stay the same and true to them. The trap-style dance break in this version adds an extra layer of flavor and it blends perfectly into the explosive bridge and final chorus. If you know me, you know bridges and final choruses are my thing, and Chaehyun delivered so hard. My girl was hitting them notes and runs like rent was due. I honestly really enjoyed it. Because I heard the Korean version first, the Japanese version now sounds slightly uncanny to me. Like, the melody's the same, but the soul is different. And again, Young-eun's presence in the Japanese version makes that contrast even more noticeable. But the Korean version, incredible. Easily the highlight of the album. It's tight, satisfying, and overall a good closing track. 10 out of 10. Final album thoughts. I was excited for this mini the moment I heard it existed. Kep1er releasing anything at this point is a small miracle. But after a few listens, something felt off. Then that's when I learned that Young-eun was on hiatus and it all clicked. The girls did amazing with what they had, but the absence is felt. Not just vocally, but structurally. The truth is that this mini feels short. Cause let's be honest, this EP is basically 3 new songs plus an intro and a bonus track. This is not a mini album, this is a sampler. It's not that the songs are bad, they're fun, polished, and easy to replay, but the era itself feels brief, restrained, almost like the company's trying to give us just enough to keep us quiet without fully investing in the group. Most of Kep1er's previous releases had been 5 full new songs, with the exception of Troubleshooter and First Impact because they included songs from the survival shows they were on at the time. So this era feels shorter, lighter, almost like a half step instead of a full comeback. It came and went faster than it should have, and they deserve better. Which leads directly into the main point of this video. What is going on with Kep1er? I want to preface this by saying I love these girls and I'm rooting for them. But I'm scared. When the news broke that their contract had been extended, I genuinely thought, okay, we're safe, they're safe, this is a new chapter. Tippy Top was good and the B-sides were solid. The debut of Kep1er's second era was promising. It felt like finally things were stabilizing. But since then, I'm not convinced the company's promoting them the way it should be. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Zero Base 1. Now, I'm not comparing popularity because the numbers speak for themselves, but the difference in company support feels noticeable. ZB1 gets multiple 6-track minis, double title tracks, OSTs, bigger budget videos, more consistent visibility. Meanwhile, Kep1er is over here getting 3 songs and a prayer. People love saying, well, their sales dropped, so of course the company pulled back, but to me, that logic is weak. Selling 100k plus copies consistently is good. Not record-breaking, but so many girl groups would kill for those numbers. The problem is that Kep1er never got time to grow. Their release schedule was chopped up, their concepts bounced from cute to girl crush to experimental without ever establishing a clear identity. A group needs time to develop a status quo before they experiment. Due to the nature of project groups, Kep1er didn't have that luxury. Because they didn't explode out of the gate, I feel the company pulled back too early instead of pushing harder. If they remained consistent with a more cute ethereal space vibe or slowly matured the concept to something like Problem or Straight Line, I feel they could have been bigger. And yes, I'm going to beat this dead horse back into the afterlife. Queendom 2 did not need to happen. It put eyes on them, sure, but at the cost of momentum, music, and time. Imagine if they had released Up then instead of doing the show. They could have capitalized on the hype of Wadada and Mask immediately. But no, we got performances instead of a promotional strategy. And now we're here. The extended contract didn't fix any of the underlying issues. Actually managing to continue beyond the initial end date was amazing, even though we lost 2 members. Extending the contract was supposed to be a reset button, a chance to stabilize the group, a guarantee of continuity. But now it feels more like the company extended the contract but forgot to plan anything. Fans expected a rebrand, fresh styling, more visibility, music, activities, a roadmap for year 3 and beyond. Instead, we got a few songs, a missing member, silence, and confusion. Which leads us to my biggest concern. Kep1er feels like they're stuck between potential and neglect. This group has talent, stable sales, a built-in fandom, Japanese market potential, strong performers, character, charm, personality. Yet, their promotion feels like the company's putting in just enough effort to keep them floating, but not enough to build them up. And that limbo is terrifying as a fan, because they do deserve more. They deserve direction, momentum, the chance to grow, and honestly, I'm scared of what the future looks like if the company continues at this pace. Despite everything, the short track list, the uncertainty, the weird rollout, this EP reminded me why Kep1er has such a strong grip on me. They're talented, charming, versatile, and they keep showing growth even when the system around them doesn't give them room to fly. I want better for them. More songs, support, creative opportunities, stability. Whether as Kep1er or 7 individual artists in the future, I'm rooting for all of them. And I hope this is just a bump in the road and not the beginning of the end. But that leads us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a video. Tell me in the comments down below, did you enjoy the album and what do you hope to see from them in the future? I'm hoping for another full-length album, but I know that I am wishing upon deaf ears. Remember that I love you all so much, and I will see you guys on Monday with something surprisingly topical. Bye!